Hi everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is the Q&A, the Patron Q&A for the month of January. And the first question was asked by Ali, and it's what are your top 5 favorite artists? The music kind, not the painting kind, just to be clear. It changes all the time, but I can say my favorite artist of all time is Coheed and Cambria. That's like my favorite band of all time. You can put Phoebe Bridgers in there. Maximum the Hormone is also there. If you're talking about all time, like I guess that's currently, but if you're talking about, it's all time, isn't it? All time. Okay, no, it's just your top 5 favorite artists, that's fine. Because if it's all time, like, you know, you have to put Bullet for My Valentine there, Trivium there, Slipknot. But like right now, currently, it's definitely Coheed and Cambria, Maximum the Hormone. Atarashi Gakko is really freaking awesome too. Then there's also Phoebe Bridgers. Sometimes Trivium as well still. Definitely sometimes Trivium. I would say those are like my... And when Boy Genius are a thing, it's definitely Boy Genius as well. Those are definitely like my artists that I listen to probably the most. Usually like I like listen to more random songs, but like Coheed and Cambria are like my favorite band that I listen to all the time. Like I listen to all their songs nonstop. Mastodon are there probably as well also. In terms of like this music I like listening to for sure. I sometimes like I branch out with other artists too, like, you know, sometimes there's random songs on my list that I listen to as well. It could be anything, but those are my favorites for sure. Those are my favorite artists. Thank you so much, Ali. The next question is by Scenic Season. Do you read manga, Romer? If so, what's the most recent one, or do you have any favorites? I do sometimes, but I don't read a lot. My favorite one is 20th Century Boys, which I have on my shelf over here. It's one of the most incredible stories. In fact, I think the most incredible story I've ever like witnessed was 20th Century Boys. Just an amazing, twisting narrative that had so many amazing characters that really made me like cry by the end of it. It was the first time I ever like, I know this is not weird for book readers to hear. It's the first time I ever cried reading a book. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was 20th Century Boys. Just such a masterful story by Naoki Urasawa. I was drawn to it, of course, because of Monster, because I love his work. I think he's just the greatest artist of all time. I'm currently reading Asadora, which is also by Naoki Urasawa, and I'm getting the collections like in the mail every once in a while, every few months, like the actual books every month with all the chapters in it. It's an amazing story as well. I also have the Soul Eater manga as well. I've collected the Persona manga also. I have some Master Keaton stuff also as well. I've collected some stuff, like there's also like I have some cross game stuff also as well. Like there's some Boys Run the Riot. I collect like things here or there, but like really I also read the full Beck manga as well. Again, I'm not like crazy into like reading so much manga. I read like lots of manga in a condensed form, if that makes sense. Like I will read manga by my favorite artists. I will branch out more, so if anyone has any suggestions, by God, if you know my taste, then I like kind of like serious stories, sometimes off the wall stories like Soul Eater, but I love a serious like drama like Monster, Asadora, or 20th Century Boys. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Those would be the ones that I really like though. S. Minako asks, any New Year's resolutions? In terms of the channel, and if I want to relate it to the channel, I just want to like, I guess, let things flow like even more than they have. Because the thing is, everything, you guys know my videos flow like very naturally because they are just like me just playing a game for a bit. But some stuff like say like cutting out a cough, like I want to like, you know, sometimes I'll just not even worry about cutting it out and just like say sorry or stuff like that. Obviously it's a violent cough, but like, you know, a little cough to the side, like I don't want to just be like, oh, where did I cough in this moment? I better write down like I coughed at this moment and to cut that out. Even though it's obviously like very polite, but also sometimes it's like I'm making a 4-hour video. There's going to be like a cough here or there. I think you guys have said it makes you sound more human anyway. In terms of like my normal life, I think to maximize relaxation more, because I think sometimes we think we're relaxing when we're not relaxing. Sometimes you will sit down on your bed or sit down on the couch and you'll scroll through your phone. And scrolling through your phone is fine, but you have to make it like, I want to make it like direct, like I am doing this to relax, right? So if I'm sitting down to like watch a show, I don't want ever to be like, oh, I should pass the time a bit until I'm recording or something like that. I want to be like, I got 30 minutes. Let's watch an anime episode. I'll lie down and like be very, you know, open about I'm relaxing right now, to make my relaxation like mean something even more. Because sometimes I feel like we all do that. Like we like, I scrolled through my phone for an hour, but in your mind you try to like explain it away as like I was relaxing for that hour. But what if like before you lie down, like, and I've heard this before, you lie down and you go, oh, I'm going to scroll through my phone for like 10 minutes. you know? And you're like, oh, this is like kind of like, obviously it's not gonna be relaxing because doom scrolling is freaking awful, but you know what I mean? Like I want to like make my relaxation and my time that I'm relaxing like mean more. You know what I mean? I want it to be like, I am right now watching this, not just to pass the time, but to have like a very good time with this. Because that happens to me sometimes, but I want to do that all the time. I know it's very, very difficult. Sometimes you will just like get distracted. Sometimes when you're watching YouTube, you'll get like your mind be miles away. But I really want to like make if that makes sense, make the relaxation like very intentful. Like, and with the intention of relaxing. I hope that makes sense, Esmanako. Julianne asks, what were some of your favorite moments in Genshin Quest so far? My favorite moments in Genshin are always character moments where they affirm who they are or they realize something. Or even like moments where like you're like, this is them, their true self, this is what they're doing. Like I think of Yai Miko's dance at the end of her quest, Kazuha creating the sword, Linny jumping off the building doing that magic trick, Vaughn's moment at the end of his quest, where he's fighting back with us and all this stuff. Like those moments like really, really get to me. Also, goodbyes are really sad too, and things like that. They're also very, very emotional. I think of Venti sitting on the, sitting on the, like one of my favorite moments ever is Venti sitting on the hands in the statue in Mondstadt. That's also very, very beautiful to me. Or Jean sitting or kneeling down at the tree. Kazuha, talking to Kazuha about like how he's moving on, he's not taking revenge and all this stuff is also like a very beautiful moment for me as well. Like, yeah, my favorite type of moments are the moments where, like, there's a big change in someone, or they kind of reaffirm themselves, or they show who they are at the end of a quest. That's, like, the big thing for me. I think of, like, also, like, you know, the boss battles as well are also really, really cool. But I think you guys know, like, I'm a big fan of, like, characters, and I love characters being themselves and becoming themselves, and that's genuinely what I always think of. Whenever someone tells me, like, what's your favorite thing in Genshin, like, what's your favorite moment or quest in Genshin, it's really difficult, but I hope that answers the question, because it's more just, like, a case of, like, those are my favorite type of moments. The reaffirming moments or the finding themselves moments. Recently had the fight between, and you guys probably, you guys haven't seen it yet, but the fight between Sethos and Sino is up there in the top 5 moment for me as well. It's just those type of moments are so beautiful to me. Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Juliana. It's actually like interesting because Genshin is so packed, but we all have our like big favorite moments, but those would be my type of favorite moments. When characters get like the final moments of a story quest, when they show who they are or find out who they are. That's definitely my favorite moments as well. In terms of a favorite moment in a quest ever though, in it like some that sticks in my mind, I will always remember Xiao catching us on the harbor. I think that moment there was that moment where I was like, okay, this is just like forever gonna be in my like favorite games for sure. The next question is from Shaola. What's the happiest moments you remember in your entire life until now? I don't know. I think it's a tough question. I think finding, I don't know, maybe performing on stage was always really fun. It's very poignant and important question that like asking someone is actually very interesting. I'm just trying to think now. I think as well, like if I can relate it to like the channel as well, so it's a little bit easier for me to answer. One of the most amazing moments on the channel was when we played Origami King, and we already had an audience before that. But it was at that point that like I just started uploading every single day, and I then had like this audience that like I really felt like every single episode I was uploading there was like somebody like there was always going to be someone there. So I think that those moments that year was always very fantastic for me. I loved that time as well. I think as well, hitting 1,000 subscribers was very, very big for me because I was like, okay, I can do this, right? I can definitely do this. And even if not, it's just going to be fun for me. But yeah, I hope like relating it to the channel is not a cop-out. It's just there's lots of like, you know, when you think of happiest moments so far, it's very, very, it's an important question that you should ask people. But it's also like, I'm not sure. I'm definitely not sure. Zevi, Zevi now asks, do you have a merchandise of game series, whether fan-made or official? If there isn't, what merchandise would you like to have of any game? I don't really buy merchandise of games. And here's the thing, everyone can spend the money on whatever they want. For me, I'm like very, very like, I'm frugal with a lot of stuff, but when Skyward Sword Remastered came out, I did buy the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons, if that counts. So like maybe like, you know, my frugalness only goes to like some aspect. Like I'm not frugal to the point of like where I like don't buy stuff I need. I buy stuff I need and I don't like, you know, You know what I mean? Like I buy stuff I need. But I mean, I also like to like save money as well. But yeah, the Zelda Joy-Cons are probably the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to merchandise. I have amiibos of the Luminary and also Zelda stuff as well, and also Joker from Persona 5. I'm trying to look, is there up here, is there any merchandise here? I have an Exodia toy, but that's from when I was a kid, and I still have it. It's so cool to me. Yeah, if you're talking about what I would want to have, I think that in terms of merchandise, in terms of t-shirts and all this stuff, the ones that I think look really cool are Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff always looks really, really cool. They're always very and here's the thing, it's Yu-Gi-Oh's gotten to the point that when we were kids, it was kind of not cool for a lot of people to like Yu-Gi-Oh, but now it's gotten to the point that everyone's kind of like, it's cool again. And like even people who like don't play Yu-Gi-Oh wear Yu-Gi-Oh fashion when they're older, you know what I mean? And it's well known because like the Blue Eyes White Dragon meme and stuff like that. But I'd say Yu-Gi-Oh for sure is definitely the one I'd like to have a lot of. Victoria says, I'm enjoying your Stardew Valley playthrough. Have you played many other games with the romance mechanic? Yes, we love the romance. I played, obviously, Persona. The Trails series, Trails of Cold Steel, I played, which has romance in it as well. I'm trying to think, is there any other games I played? Baldur's Gate 3, I suppose, has romance in it as well. If you count Skyrim, definitely, I've played that too. What other games have I played that has romance in it? Fire Emblem, I've also played as well. We have a 3 Houses playthrough on the channel that also has romance in it too, like a romance mechanic in it. What else have I played? What else have I played? Oh, I played Fire Emblem Fates, which was actually very funny because like I didn't realize in that game like someone unlocked a memory in that game. I have it on my shelf there. Apparently like you have to like blow on the characters through the screen to like get dirt off them as well. It's very, very funny. I'm trying to think of any other games that like you romance people. I probably played some on the channel that I don't even like freaking remember because there's so many games we play. We played like 70 playthroughs on the channel now. Yeah, I think those are like the main games that I would have played that have romance mechanics in them. And I actually think they're actually very fun. I think a lot of people that look down on them, it's very silly because it's like, why don't you just get a partner in real life? It's like, bro, like we all know that's a thing you do in real life as well. But like, it's like you already choose choices to like kill people in games, right? You choose choices to like do different mechanics in games, to go different directions, to fight people, to not fight people. How is it so weird that there's also choices to marry or not marry someone? How is that weird? You think it's normal to have choices where it's like, should you shoot this person or not shoot this person? Should you fight this person or not fight this person? Will you go down this lane, go down that lane? Will you buy this or buy this? Will you do this or do that? You think it's normal to have those choices, but it's not normal to have like an option to be like, I want to kiss this person. Like, I'd never get that because like those same people will turn around and play like The Walking Dead and you're like, dude, you're making choices as well about your character, developing your character in a certain way. You're just doing without kissing. At least I got kissing in mine. I like The Walking Dead as well, by the way. I'm a really big fan of The Walking Dead series. I want to play it, I've only played the first one and a little bit of the second one, but I've always like really, really enjoyed it. And I want to play the whole series on the channel because I haven't played the rest of it. And the idea would be that I would replay the first one because I did love the first one when it came out, like I said. But I wonder if people would like to see me replay the first one and then we do all the other ones after that. Yeah. But it's the same with Life is Strange. It's like Life is Strange is amazing. You don't choose. Well, you can actually, yeah, you can actually kind of choose in that as well. Yeah, but yeah, I like games like that. Malcolm Conde says, you once mentioned you wishing you'd done a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough on the channel instead of playing it by yourself, which makes me wonder, how do you decide what games to dedicate to the channel versus playing them on your own time? Also, I told you to watch Baldur's Gate 3 run by you, would take different actions from your first run. Definitely worth it with this game. I failed a lot with choosing games because I thought that a lot of people wouldn't want to see me play them, and that was probably just like my own self-consciousness. Like Nier Replicant, for example, I wish I played it. I'm so glad I played that game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, top 3 favorite games of all time, but I wish I played it on the channel with everybody. I wish I played it with absolutely everybody. I think it would have been amazing. Same with like Persona 5, for example. I remember I played it on the channel for a bit, and people were like, please, like there's people in the comments being like, could you do like another, like could you play more of this? You know what I mean? Now there wasn't that many people at the time because they didn't have that big of a following, but like there was people that were like, oh, you're gonna play Persona 5 when it comes out, you can play Persona 5 when it comes out. And I probably should have done the full playthrough. It would have been great, like because like that's one of the things that's happened with my channel, like that all the time, is that like I'll play games that like I really want to play always. That's the choice. If I want to play a game, I'll play it on the channel. But like there's also games that I didn't play on the channel that I did want to play that I could have played on the channel, but I thought maybe no one would watch them. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has kind of changed that perception for me. And Baldur's Gate 3 should have been a game I played on the channel as well, but I just didn't like think of it at the time. Again, I think there's still a bit of a thing in my mind. It's like, would people even want to watch me play Baldur's Gate 3? But now everyone's like, yes. The same when you're Replicant. Would people want to watch me play New Replicant? Yes. I think there always is that, like, there's a confidence aspect of that, right? But I think the decision was always just willy-nilly, and like, I'll play this game off the channel, I'll play this game on the channel. Even recently, like, I had like Metaphor. There's people being like, oh, I wish you played Metaphor on the channel. You know what I mean? Like, this, it's so funny that way, where it's like, yes, I should have. You know, I should have played Metaphor on the channel. It would have been a great time. But also, like, you know, I feel like you also need games for yourself as well. So I think if you're asking like how I would, like, in my head, I decide that. I think it's a mixture of like, would people want to see this? Usually they would. And there's also like a thing of like, do I want to experience this as like a very personal thing? But then, like, I was fine, like, with Metaphor recently, after I finished it, I was like, man, I would have loved to have seen all these twists and turns and talk about them with you guys, you know? So really, it's just like very up in the air, and I'm not very good at making that decision sometimes, but I feel like I could make it more in the future. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was one of those games I would have played by myself originally, but I played it on the channel, and it was like such a great success in terms of everyone having fun with it. Like, it wasn't like my biggest series ever, but like, it was so much fun, and everyone was having such a good time for like all the episodes, and I was having a great time. That should be the turning point. I think it was for me, where I was like, oh, I can play these type of games. I can play RPGs. I can play other type of games that aren't just like, you know, like the regular type of games that I play, you know? And the more I branch out into other styles of games, the more people are like, oh, no, we actually like this. Like, for example, the biggest example is like, I only played Zelda games for a while, and then I played a Mario game. People are like, oh, we actually like this. And then I only played Mario games for that year or so. And then I played some Ace Attorney, and people are like, we like this. Then I played like those type of games. And then I played like a Mori, and people were like, no, we like this. And it's like, it just goes to show that like people have varied tastes, and like I should always realize that as well. Catsit says, oh, the Baldur's Gate question reminded me, I'm curious too, what character did you play on that playthrough? You did on your own? Race, class, background, body type, did you romance anyone? If yes, who? And overall, how'd the playthrough go for you? I was a human, I think. Yes, I was a human. It's been a while since I played it, and my playthrough is not good. And I think it's just because at the time, like, I was just like, it's very complicated and it's very difficult. It was very difficult for me. So I was having a big struggle with it. A lot of people suggest just to play on easy, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's probably what we probably could do for the playthrough as well, because I just wasn't very good at the mechanics of it. So like, a lot of times I was just like, oh my god, I have to get through this battle, because I sucked at it. But yeah, in terms of race and also, I think I was a heavy sword user. I'm so bad at this, man. I'm so bad at this. I'm the worst Baldur's Gate 3. That's why I want to play with you guys, because I feel like I get a better experience. I feel like you guys could like usher me into like being like, oh, maybe you could try this, or maybe you could do this class, or try this. But I think I changed to a paladin at one point. I changed class to a paladin. My body type was I always go for like thin, kind of like tall blonde. That's what I usually go for. Did I romance anybody? I didn't have any romance with anybody, but I did have there was kind of like romancy conversations and kind of like lusty conversations, I suppose. But no one in particular, I suppose I could say. And how did the playthrough go for you? I feel like that's why it's one of those games I wish I played in the channel, because I really feel like my playthrough was very quick. I think it was like a 50-hour playthrough, which for a lot of Baldur's Gate fans are like, what is that? You know what I mean? And I feel like it is because I wasn't very good at it. I feel like I would have had like a lot more fun if like I had people talking about it and we were constantly like working towards things without spoilers and stuff like this. And that's why I'm like, I really want to play it on the channel. I really do. I know it sounds disappointing because like usually like, you know, we go very in depth on a lot of games and like we try to do as much as we can. I really feel like even though I thought it was an amazing game and I had a lot of fun with it and I played through to the entire end, there was parts where like I stopped playing for a week because I was just so bad at some aspects of the combat and stuff like that. Because to me, I found it rather difficult. I really did. I know it sounds kind of bad, but I did. But thank you so much for that question, Katsin. I know it's kind of like sounds like a disappointing answer. I want to make it clear. I do think it's a great game. I do think it's a fantastic game. I just feel like I personally was not great at it. And that's why I'd like to play with you guys. Not because I'm like, you guys can hold my hand, but it's more just like, I think it'd be better as a community game where people are like, oh, he made this decision, and then like talking about it afterwards, and I would have like a time where I could like have a full conversations about the game. We could discuss moments. So it's not just like when a big moment happens, it's like, okay, just pick up the loot and go. I then look through the comment section and we'd be like, oh, this happened, oh, you made this choice, you made that choice. And then people are like, oh, you shouldn't have done this with this move because that really does this. And it probably would have like ushered me into like doing a lot better with that game, I suppose. But yeah, I hope you get what I'm saying. I really do think that game was great. It's just I wasn't very good at it. The community question we asked this week, a shorter one this week because I feel like it was asked like over Christmas break. But yeah, Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know when I asked this question, but it was I asked what was everyone's game of the year, and the answer was from Jared Beanham, Unicorn Overload or Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. I haven't played Unicorn Overload, but Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is a fantastic experience. I really liked it. It looks so beautiful. The music is great. The combat is great. It's a very terrifying game in aspects too, but it is very, very punishing, but I loved it. I played the original as well, but the Vengeance is definitely the way to go. Some really cool new characters also. I really liked it a lot. That's a good choice. What's your damage? I didn't get into the game as much as 2024, but probably Infinity Nikki, even though it's fairly new. I don't get to play huge games, and they're overwhelming. So this game is a treat to me. It's kind of a cozy game, but at the same time, I've yelled in defeat over puzzles or battles I can't win. Battles? I didn't know those battles. Either way, it's a great game, and I hope you give it a try sometime. Excited to see more cozy games in 2025. What's your damage? I have it downloaded, so I think once we catch up to where I want to be in Genshin, it's not that I hope it doesn't sound like I'm pulling things off. I think it just makes sense, because right now, we are at a pivotal point in the Genshin playthrough where we are so close to catching up. And I feel like I don't want to stop any momentum that I have and that, this energy that I have for it. So I'm like, okay, we'll try Infinity Nikki after we catch up. Because I feel like, halting that feeling I have of love, where I'm we're going. And it feels so good. We're going through this, we're doing everything and it feels really great. I kind of want to wait till we catch up and we have more time as well. And I think Infinity Nikki would be actually a fantastic game to play as well. To try it out at very least. We're not going to do probably a full playthrough, but we could try an hour or two out, because of course Honkai Star Rail is coming up as well. But yeah, it looks really amazing. And Scenic Season said, either Metaphor or Black Myth Wukong. I haven't finished either game, but I love them. Great experience in their respective genres. Would strongly recommend to anyone interested. There's also Wuthering Waves, which probably has the most hours played this year. It has its own issues, but I love the gameplay and excited to see what's in store for 2025. Yeah, Metaphor I played as well. It's not my game of the year personally. Spoilers for the game of the year video I'll probably do at some point in the future. I'm currently playing through Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and I'm going to be playing Visions of Mana before I do the game of the year video, because I want to make sure I play all the games that I would probably nominate for my game of the year. But yeah, it's an amazing game. It really is a fantastic game. The music is superb. I love the setting that it's in as well. The story was actually very fun as well. And it had a really nice twists at times too. And the characters just shine so brightly in that game too. Wuthering Waves is another game I want to try as well. Again, once we catch up to Genshin, I want to try a bunch of stuff. But Honkai Star Rail, of course, is the next playthrough that we're actually doing as well. Yeah, that's what's going to be happening soon. So thank you so much to the people that asked questions and answered questions. Thank you so much to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Johnny Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix, Ewald, Radish, and Nusta, Malcolm Kunde, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Alpaca Juice, Eopsy, Xander Whatever, True Peanut Butter, and Jared Beanham. And thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a good week. Bye-bye.